Praise to the Most High, to the ancestors, to our brothers and sisters who have educated us along the way and still educating us today, and that's our Wazee, our elders. We want to thank them for their hard work. Brothers and sisters, tonight's message is coming to realization. Coming to realization. And this is something that is needed in the black community because so many of us saying we are woke, we're conscious, we're spiritual beings, but we're not coming to that realization of who we are. You have to get there. So that word coming is something due to happen. If I say someone is coming here, that means we are looking for something to happen. Somebody's supposed to be here, right?
Yes, sir.
If the weatherman says it's going to rain tomorrow, it's due to happen. Although we know the weatherman messing things up nowadays. Coming means something due to happen that's going to take place or just beginning. I like the word to. It's an action word. All right? Something that's going to happen to. Meaning you bringing something into action, into being, into a process. Coming to realization. And realization is consciousness, awareness, to be awake, to be alert. But what are we coming into consciousness, our alertness, to be awake about? Because everybody is conscious, but I don't see the black community moving. Or should I say the black nation? All right? I still see us fighting each other. I know people say, we're waking up, and we are waking up slowly, but we have not really realized the situation we're in, the condition we're in, and what is taking place in America that is holding us back, and who's holding us back, because we're still putting the sword at each other's neck. We're killing one another. I don't know how many reports you get, but I always get the reports on the children getting shot. The innocent children. I'm not talking about the teenagers who are shooting each other. That's sad enough. But the toddlers and the babies who catch the bullets. Yes. It's a painful thing. But what brought us to this message this evening is, believe it or not, something heartbreaking. Y'all know I do massage therapy. And it's sad when Caucasians come in and speak on things we ought to be talking about. It's sad. When you focus on them as they're speaking and you realize these devils trying to come to realization.
Come on, bro.
I had a Caucasian come in, and this Caucasian woman was dropping some heavy science. I know where they get it from. The sad part, and understand the process here, is when you hear it from them on a larger scale than you're hearing it from us. That's the bad part, because we call ourselves gods and goddesses. We said they're the devil. They recognize they're the devil. Because for 40-some years, Elijah Muhammad told us that the white man was the devil. And 40-some years, he never said that Elijah Muhammad was a liar.
That's right.
He never wrote anything contrary to Elijah Muhammad's words. Elijah Muhammad put out a challenge that if he could prove that, if the white man could prove that his words were wrong, he would stop teaching. Elijah Muhammad taught till he died. So the man knows he's the devil. If you call him the devil, he'll never deny it. How is it that the devil can get information and grow with it, and we're the gods and the goddesses, and we don't realize who we are? How come we're still asleep, but we're coming into all this realization? There's a process that must take place. Let's go first to, we're going to use the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, and our wisdom texts, which are writings of the Meta. But let's go first to Proverbs chapter 4. And I'm going to ask Brother Sekou to read those for me. Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs chapter 4, we want to read verses 5 and 7. Proverbs, the book of wisdom. Chapter 4, verses 5 and 7.
Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Most of us had that King James version, so y'all got it, right? Chapter 4, verses 5 and 7.
5 and 7. 5 and 6.
5 and 7. Thank you.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
That's it.
Therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding.
That's what we want. You can't come to the realization of anything unless you get the wisdom of that thing. Which means you have to get wise in what you're trying to obtain. Isn't that correct? Solomon says, but in all your wisdom, get understanding. You're not a wise man in wisdom if you don't understand the wisdom that you have.
Right.
Because a fool can be wise and lack understanding. You've seen plenty of them. There's a lot of fools on the street selling drugs, running corporations, counting money backwards faster than you and I. No percentages. Got workers up under him. Got the labor board thing going. He know everything, the ins and out of his corporation, but he doesn't have the understanding of what he's doing. So Solomon said, all your wisdom, get understanding. So in order to come to the realization of where we're going with this thing, you have to first get wise in what you're searching for. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So many are obtaining wisdom without understanding. This is like learning math without addition. It can't be done. But this is the nature we're in right now. We are trying to become gods without the understanding of what it means to be godly. We call ourselves spiritual without any wisdom of what spirituality really is.
Teach that.
In the so-called story of the Bible of Adam and Eve, they were in the purest form until they fell. Then the Most High appeared to them. They were hiding themselves. Listen now. And the Creator asked them, who told you you were naked? Who took you out your spiritual state? Who brought you down low?
Come on, brother.
We walk in shame, not bodily, but also mental, physical, economical shame every day, because every day Satan deceives us and he has brought us down low, so we hide ourselves.
Come on.
Yes, we do. We hide because we know we're not in our what? Pure form, and we're not in our pure form because we really haven't reached that level of realization of who we are.
Teach that.
That's why I said we use these words, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, in vain. So in all your understanding, get understanding. Now let's roll to 1 Timothy real quick. Chapter 3. We're going to break something down because people say the book is not to be read literally. It's all symbolic. Everything in the Bible is not symbolic. All right? Some of it is literal. Some of it is esoteric. Some of it is just symbolism. Some of it is hyperbole. Some of it is in parables. It's broken down in so many forms. But so is the Quran, so is the Meta-Netta, so is the Purim Haru, the Codes of Hammurabi, the Bhagavad Gita. They're all broken down in many ways because you're supposed to grow on levels. Isn't that correct? Now we're going to read something in the Bible that's not supposed to be taken literal. This is an esoteric form. All right, and that's 1 Timothy chapter 3. Do we have it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's read verse 9. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 9.
Holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience.
Is that 9?
Yes.
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 Read it again, brother.
Holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience.
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 All right, that's different from conscious. All right, conscious means to be awake. Conscience means without guilt. All right? It says holding the mysteries. Some Bible says the secrets. Some Bible says the unknown things. Holding the mysteries, the secrets, or the unknown things of what? Your what?
Faith.
Of your faith, which means your belief. Whatever you believe, hold the mysteries of what you believe with pure conscience. And coming to the realization of who you are. All of the secret things that you're trying to receive, the mysteries of your ancestors, you have to hold on to that stuff with pure conscience without guilt. Why do you think Paul told Timothy, and Timothy wrote, study those mysteries with pure conscience, without guilt? Because a lot of stuff you're going to learn and come into the realization of your spiritual self is going to bring you to a lot of stuff you're going to think is taboo, evil, and forbidden.
Teach that, brother.
That's why I said we hide. Because we get spiritual, but when we tap on that little stuff that is unheard and never been taught to the untrained mind, we draw back.
Yes.
Do we not?
Yes, sir.
If I stood in front of you with my heels together, if I stepped out on my left foot, hands by my side, did this, did that, raised my hand, stepped back, and come back here, tell me what I've done. I've done signals, but can you read them?
Gotta be trained.
Yeah, thank you, brother. These Masonic symbols and signs, you have to be trained to read them. The reason we fail to come to the realization is when we read our holy writings, which are words, we really don't understand them because every letter is truly a symbol and a sign. So what you're reading is not always what it says.
Come on, brother. Come on.
So when people say the Bible is a fable and the Quran is the white man's book and this one that Param Haru is evil and of the devil, it's because they have not been trained to see the signs and the symbols of their ancestors. And because you're not trained, you can't come to the realization of who you are.
Teach that, brother.
So when you read these things, they look evil to you. They sound evil to your ear because it doesn't have the name of Jesus or Muhammad on it.
Teach that.
All right.
Do we understand?
Yes. Yes.
Coming to the realization of who you are, meaning you got to get ready to face those mysteries, those secrets, those hidden things that have never been revealed to you. So stop following these foolish people who say they know it all. Brother, we got the answer over here. I'm still searching for answers, and I've been doing this for 33 years. Come March, it'll be 34 years. And I'm still searching for answers, still studying, and most of all, still learning, because in all my wisdom, I'm getting understanding.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I've never reached a level, or will never reach where I think I got it all. I'm learning, as they say, from the cradle to the grave. So I'm going to leave this world still searching. I'm going to leave this world not knowing everything I want to know. But that's the process, brothers and sisters. We don't live long enough to get all the knowledge. If the disciples said about Yahshua, whom the world called Jesus, if we had written everything he ever said, they said in the book, it wouldn't be enough books in the world to contain it. If they said that about one prophet, how much information came out of all the prophets and the prophetess and the sages throughout time? And what more about the God and the goddess that we don't know?
Teach that, brother. Teach that.
It's a heavy thing to come to the realization of who you are.
That's true.
So it bothers me when Caucasians come in and Caucasians start to speak. Because what I do is a holistic work, so they start talking on a holistic level or on a spiritual level, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to feed me for information.
Yes.
They ask a lot of questions.
I bet they do.
A whole lot of questions. I do a whole lot of laughing. I chuckle with them. I try to dance around. I give them a little piece here, but I don't give them nothing full, nothing halfway. But I can hear, and they're asking, and then they'll talk. Man, these crackers studying. They studying, and we rapping all this nigger music and cursing and. Yes, I said it, nigger music.
It is what it is.
If it ain't saying nothing, it's nigger music. Isn't it right?
That's right.
Correct.
All right, let's move on. I won't get in trouble. So certain things in your realization of growth, you got to see it in purity. You got to see it in purity. You don't have to call it pure. You got to see it pure. Isn't that right? All right. All right, brothers and sisters, hold on to it. So one seeking realization, which is spiritual enlightenment. That's what we're truly seeking. Spiritual enlightenment, that we can grow spiritually. Most of us don't know of the deeper sciences of life. We don't know about it. A lot of brothers and sisters have changed their diet, for instance. We're eating better, which is good. And we're eating better to preserve our physical being,
Right.
that we may awaken the spiritual being. But we're eating foods that are good for us and still don't have the knowledge of the food.
That's sad.
Brother, eat these. These are good for you. What's it for, brother? I don't know they're good for you. Y'all haven't heard that?
Yes.
It's good for you. I know it's good for me. Eat a lot of broccoli, brother. Why, brother? They said broccoli good for you. You didn't study it? They said it and you ate it? This is what we do in the black community.
Yes.
I tell brothers and sisters, eat a lot of tomatoes if you don't have any acid reflux or the acid of the food doesn't bother. Eat tomatoes. Nobody ever read, or rarely, I'm not saying nobody. Why? They never said why. Tomatoes are big, big cancer fighters. Kill those cancer cells.
Yeah.
You should add it to your diet. Want me to prove it to you? How many Italians you see with cancer? Because their whole diet is tomato based. Isn't it right? A lot of pasta, tomato sauce, pizza, blah, blah, blah. Tell brothers, I'm not a drinker, don't get drunk. But you need a little wine here and there.
Red wine.
Red wine or grape wine, dark wine. Cleanse that blood.
Yeah.
Purifies it. Italian people don't have high blood pressure. Because with their pasta, they always drinking wine. They don't have heart problems. And you see them fat little devils with bellies way out here walking around halfway, they're Italian. Y'all know it?
Yeah.
Every movie they show mobsters, they look. But they do not have any problem. If they have a heart attack or stress, it's because they're trying to run that mob business. It's not from the diet, it's from the mind. So we're trying to come to the realization without having to study, because everybody wants a DVD now.
Come on, brother.
Everybody wants to get on the phone and just listen to somebody else say something. And talk about how deep it is, but no one is doing any research and is studying, digging into it to find out what is it.
That's right, brother.
What it's all about.
Dig into it.
So my father was a mason. And I used to admire as a child him putting on his stuff and going out and ask questions, and he would never answer. Well, I can't tell you that. So I grew up seeing this. It inspired me. I wanted to be a mason. But before I went to the lodge, I did some studying. And when I walked in the lodge, they pulled me past the senior brothers.
Yes.
I hadn't reached the 3rd degree yet. I don't know if you know 1st degree, 3rd degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, become a master mason. Hadn't reached it yet. And they had me teaching the brothers. Because I had indulged myself. I wanted that knowledge. You got to get the understanding.
Yes, sir.
Then I got another part of that understanding and realized, I don't need y'all brothers. Time for me to go. Y'all all jacked up. In other words, to get that realization, you have to go places you don't want to go. That's why 1 John chapter 4 verse 1 said, try every spirit, whether you believe they're of God or not. Why would the Creator tell you that? Try means to examine. Examine means to learn, to study, to research.
Teach it, brother.
Examine every spirit. I got tonight the Bible, I got the wisdom text, I got the Bhagavad Gita. At home, I got the Purim Haru. I got the Nag Hammadi Bible. I got the Koda Hammurabi. I got the Tanakh. I got a Wiccan Bible. I got Dr. York's Bible he wrote himself.
Come on.
The Holy Tablet. I got every holy book that's out there, or religious book that I can get my hands on. And anyone tell you, Hassana can tell you, if I go in a store and I see one I don't have, I'm going to get it. Because I want to know everything I can find out in my profession.
Come on, brother.
Because in my profession, I'm trying to reach a state of realization. The same thing with holistic health. I'm constantly studying, although I'm constantly doing every day. I'm constantly studying to improve my techniques, to learn more about the body, because there's so many mysteries about the human body yet to be discovered.
Yes, sir.
Yet to be discovered. So we have to study, brothers and sisters. We have to get it in. And we're not getting it in. Let's go to the Purim Haru. Page 98. I'm sorry, I didn't say that tonight either. And I don't have mine. So, Sister Nalingi, all yours for a minute.
Sure. Getting the page for you, Pastor.
And I'll let you read it for me.
Oh, no, go ahead.
All right, everybody, who has the Purim Haru? Page 98. Asante, sister. All right, in the middle of the passage where bracket 67 is. Y'all see that? It says, what then is this? It is the day of which Haru fought with Set, which cast filth in the face of Haru, and when Haru destroyed the members of Set. Now this Dehude, whom they call Thoth, did with his own fingers. I need to read it again, or y'all heard it? Did you hear it? It says, who is this? It is the day on which Haru fought with Set. Set who cast filth in the face of Haru.
Come on.
And when Haru destroyed the members of Set, meaning his body, the members of the body. Now this Dehude, whom the Greeks call Thoth, did with his own fingers. Did y'all catch it? The deceased rises up. Who is this? It is your two natures. You didn't come to the realization of your two natures? When your two natures fight one against the other, and someday it look like one prevails, he throws filth in your face, he blinds you. But then you come back and you destroy the members. You destroy that nature. Do not be surprised in the realization of this, because Dehude did this with his own fingers, meaning he already wrote it in you.
Teach it. Teach it, brother.
The two natures have been written in you. Your life was written in you. Every battle is written in you. It's God's handwriting that's on the wall.
Teach it. Teach it.
And the wall that the Creator writes on is on your heart.
Yes, sir.
He has wrote your life. Why are you so afraid of things in life? Just come to the realization of it. It's already written in your being. So in order to come to the realization of your God body or your goddess body, you have to accept the fact that there's going to be some inward battles, not outward, but with yourself. And the reason we cannot grow spiritually, we don't want to fight those inward wars.
No.
We want to blame everybody for our situation and condition. We don't want to say, this is what I did.
Right.
Now I must realize it, I must learn from it, and I must grow from it. I did prison ministry. I used to hate those brothers, seeing those brothers who blame everybody for them being on the inside. I talked to the brothers who realized, man, I put myself here. Those are brothers I sat down and I spoke with because they were genuine, they were real, and they had the realization of, I'm getting out of here, because they realized I put myself in here.
Come on, brother.
So I didn't use those tactics, brother. White man made you do it. No, the white man didn't make me kill my brother. The white man didn't make me sell drugs on the corner. The white man didn't make me rape my sister. He may have put the thought in my head, but I acted upon it.
Yes, sir.
Realization of being a god and a goddess is taking responsibility for everything you've done, good or bad. Because we all got the Heru set nature.
Yes.
That's not a total bad thing. If we can conquer the other one. All right, one conquer the other one. It's not too bad. All right. So, brothers and sisters, the realization, learning to become realized, begins within yourself. Not from a DVD, not from Dr. Jackson, not from this person, not from a book. It comes from the inside first.
All right.
Your body is your university. Everything you learn takes place in your body. Listen to me carefully. Black people are afraid to explore their body. Did y'all catch me?
Yes. Yes.
I told you, I do acupressure, massage therapy, hot stones, hot towels, yoga massage. Black people, chi massage, are afraid of their body. They are. So much that sometimes, let me use the word, excuse me, sisters, it pisses me off when they come to me. Because I look at them like, why you come here?
Yes, sir.
You're wasting my time. Do I not?
Yes.
You're wasting my time. I can't work on you. I can't make you feel good, feel better, so you can go out there and give me a good report. We come in, we land on the table face down. We got shirts on. My hands all oiled up.
Yeah.
So you want to jump up and you want to blame me for messing up your shirt.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? So I got to step out the room and let Queen Hasana come in the room. Brother, sister, if you come here for this, you got to do it. I got to do that? Do y'all see where I am in this? I look at TV. And on some shows or some movies, you see a person laying there getting a massage. They got a commercial where the teacher said, I can't wait to go on vacation.
Yeah.
And she laying there getting a massage and everybody's rubbing on the back. But you come to me in ignorance. This is stupid. Y'all don't understand what the brother got to deal with.
Come on, brother.
Dr. Jackson, I got sciatica. I asked my question, what side did it run down, the right or the left? It coming down on the right side. On the side or down the buttocks? Down the buttocks. You get a tingling feeling, numbness in your toes? No, not yet, or yes, I do. Most of your pain is right here, right? Yes, sir, how you know? It's my profession. Brother, sister, this is my job. I'm going to have to hit your lower back, your hip, your glutes, your hamstring, your calf, and the bottom of your feet.
Yes.
You gotta touch my butt.
Yes. So true.
My profession. That's what I do. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, ma'am. Well, just skip it. No problem. Why? Do I tell them? The price ain't gonna change. You gonna pay a brother either way.
Yeah, right.
Am I right?
That's true.
I said, no problem. Pull my hands up, and I give him a baby rub. You got to be in business and know what that means. Me and I ain't doing jack. I don't do nothing. You come stupid, you're going to leave stupid. This is what we got. Now, that's on my level. Think about your level. And you examine and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Whatever you do in your profession, when you meet brothers and sisters and you're trying to educate them and help them, how do they respond to you compared to how do white people respond?
Come on, brother.
White people want to be you.
Absolutely.
They come into the realization that you are the gods and the goddesses.
Yes.
Why do you think now that after all these hundreds of years of burning black men and cutting off their phallus and raping black women and burning and beating us, that they now allowing their daughters to marry our sons and our sons to marry their daughters? Why do you think they're doing that in this day and time? Because they have come to the realization those niggas are gods.
Teach them.
Yes.
And if we can get their blood in our system, Cracker already know the one drop theory. One drop will conform us and make us them. See, the white man is intelligent in his wicked way. He knows that it's not going to change him. But if I let my daughter marry that black man's son, then my grandson will be greater than his grandson, then his grandson, and we will really be in control then.
Yes.
We don't have to fight to hold him back. We have the gene in us.
Yes.
He's trying to become you.
Yes.
That's true.
We don't realize who we are in all this consciousness and spirituality, and we are trying to imitate the devil.
Say it.
Serena Williams just married the devil.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Just married the devil. And had the baby. Dark chocolate sister. They call her and her sister little nappy-headed niggas. When they started out in the tennis profession. Wouldn't let them play on their courts. Daddy had to fight to get them in. Daddy said, I hate white people. And both of them bringing two white men home to daddy. Disrespectful. Let that devil enter your holy temple. The Most High said, don't let the Gentiles in the temple. Come to the realization. Pastor Yahkim, how come y'all don't let white people come in? Because they're unclean, they're defiled, and we are a holy people.
Teach it.
And we don't let that which is defiled touch anything that's sacred to us,
That's right.
including ourselves. This is what we have to teach. I wish I could do my business with all black people, melanated people. Unfortunately, it just ain't happening.
You go first.
I got to take the money where it comes. Isn't that right? Oh, praises be to I love my people.
Yes.
I'm like last poet. I love niggas. I love niggas because niggas are mean. But I also hate niggas. Because niggas like to play ball while the white man's cutting off there. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praises be to the Most High. Let's go to Romans chapter 7, please. Somebody read Romans chapter 7, 23, and then Ecclesiastes. We just go on to chapter 3. We're not going to read it, but we want to quote a few verses from it. We're going to Romans chapter 7, verse 23. And then Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Now remember, I told you your body is a university.
Right.
Everything you learn is going to be learned inwardly, outwardly. Not outwardly, inwardly. All right? We were first taught by the oral law before we had the written law. The metaneta, before it was written, was orally taught. The Hebrew writings, the Arabic writings, before they were written, was orally taught. All of history said we had the oral law first. Oral means it was already innately in you. Your mother just daily reminded you of what was there.
Right.
So when you heard your mother speak orally, it resonated in your spirit and you understood it. She didn't have to do like white people did. White people wrote little things and left it on the refrigerator for their children. Your mother and father, my mother and father didn't have to write you their law.
You already know
Nope.
it.
You better
Better
know
know
it.
Back in the day when I was a youth, everybody had a screen door.
Yeah.
Not a security door for the younger people. Screen door. Wood frame with screen. Strong spring on it. When you run out and open that door, she slammed quick. Boom! And you knew when you went out, you heard that oral law. Don't slam my screen door.
That's right.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Right.
It was an unwritten law, but you knew it. It was innately in you. All right, Romans chapter 7, verse 23.
But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
Well.
The law, it wasn't written on stone at first, not on papyrus, not on paper, not on script. The law is written in your members. To come to the realization of who you are, you got to learn to read the laws that are in you.
Teach it.
We don't want to understand those innate laws because somebody told you from last week's message that your body was a sin.
Yes.
Didn't they tell you that? You're born sin. Your flesh is evil. Somebody told you that your body was a sin, but the Creator said, no, your body is my temple. That's where I wrote my first laws, in you. You forgot them, and then we stopped putting it on stone and on papyrus, on paper to read, to remind us because we forgot about them.
Come on, brother.
Today, we're still walking away from the laws that are written in us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a day will come when the black man will no longer need the temple. What did he mean by that? If the black man and black woman get on their square, you don't have to go to a place of worship. Boom,
right.
there it is.
Teach it.
There wouldn't be a church, a temple, a synagogue, a tabernacle, a house. It wouldn't be a S-U-A-N. Why? Because once we wake up to the realization of who we are and walk in the law, you wouldn't need nobody to remind you
Teach it, brother. That's
how to be a god and a goddess.
Come on with it.
We would go back to being gods and goddesses as we were before the white man came out the cave. These are only set up until we get there.
All right.
My position is temporary. Read the scripture, I'll tell you. When you reach that certain place or point, whether you call it heaven or paradise or Amita or the Tuat or Duat, you'll find no temple. Gods don't need temples.
True.
Gods don't need to be taught. Gods don't need to be elevated. They're already gods. Isn't that right? So Paul is saying what the Peru told us, that the Creator wrote these things in our members. He said, in my members there's a law. That's set law, who is contrary to Heru's law, who tried to imprison me. You see, you imprison yourself first in your own mind. Thus you imprison your body and the members of your body. You imprison yourself.
That's true.
So we have to not so much as defeat set. You got to balance your Heru set nature.
That's it.
You got to balance them because you do need set. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. What's the first verse? What does it say? Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1.
To everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
There's a time. There's a purpose for everything under the heaven, meaning there's a time and a purpose for everything that the Creator wrote in you. Listen what he says. He said there's a time to love, time to hate, time to heal, time to kill, time to plant, time to pluck up what you planted, time to gather stones, time to cast stones, time to build up, time to tear down, time to mourn, time to lie, time to heal, time to kill, time of peace, time of war. There is a season for every moment in your life. There's a Heru season, there's a set season. You got to balance these two natures. That's the mystery that's locked in you. You can't get rid of evil. You got to know how to use your evil just like you use your good.
Come on. Come on.
Because as I always say, you can't fight your enemy in your good state.
No, you sure can't.
That's how the devil been beating our black behinds for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Because every time he fight us, we come out good. We want to love you. We forgive you. May the Lord bless you. God bless you. I forgive you.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So true.
When we marched in the 60s, they spat on us. They hit us. and we dropped on our knees and we prayed. One of the saddest videos or incidents I saw, real life, of the 60s, was black people marching, and all of a sudden the white people broke out with the hoses in the billy club, please come. But there was one clip, I don't know if anybody ever seen it. It's a 9 or 10-year-old little girl running.
Yeah.
And this big belly white man running behind her with his blackjack. But they don't show it getting hit. But he's right up on it and you see him coming in like that. Then they jump to another scene. This is what our imbalances does for us. It keeps us enslaved in our own mind. So the white man is not my oppressor. I'm really my oppressor. Y'all with me? We oppress each other. We oppress ourselves.
Yeah.
We can free ourselves at any moment, any given time of the day, if we all come to the realization, first of all, we're one people. We won't even come to that realization. We black and we proud and we African, we're not African, we're more, we're not more. We Hebrew Israelite, we're not African, I'm a Negro. Right?
Yes, sir.
We this and that. We battling, not realizing that all of us carry the same DNA.
Teach that.
We got the same structure in us. Hebrew Israelite brothers saying they're not African. White men went over Africa to a place called Malawi. M-A-L-A-W-I. There's a large Hebrew tribe in Malawi. Scientists did some studying on them. White guys. They said these people are related to the black Hebrews. But the Hebrew Israelites in America say they're not African. So where did these brothers come from, brother? If y'all not African and Africans are not Hebrews.
Teach that.
Malawi, ma, house. Lawi is really Levi. They come from the house of Levi.
Teach it.
What does mama mean? Ma, house, ma, house. Mama means house. You come from the house of her body and dwell in a house that she live in.
Yes.
Malawi, the house of Levi. And they would tell you they migrated from Israel thousands or hundreds of years ago down to Central Africa. We're one people. Brother, we ain't Negro. I mean, we're Negroes. We Hebrew Israelites. We're Negroes. We're not Africans. Africans are Hamitic, and we Shemitic. Then you got white people joining your Hebrew Israelite cult.
What?
You got not black, Latino, Puerto Ricans. Y'all understand when I say Latino? Latinos are not Mexicans. The descendants of the Aztecs and the Mayans. They're not Latinos. Latinos are really Greeks, from which the Latin language came. They are the Latin people.
Teach it.
The reason we call the people in South America Latinos is because those Greeks went down there and conquered them, taught them their language and their culture. Espanol is not the Mexican's language. He just like you and I, he's speaking the language of the oppressor. He either speaking Latin or Portuguese. And Portuguese is what? Part of the Latin tongue. Greek
Yes.
and Roman and Italian. All the same language.
Teach that, brother.
So we have to come to the realization that just because we speak different languages don't mean we're not the same people. We branched out all over the world.
Yes.
And after hundreds and millions of years, we formed where we were, our own words. Sounds begin to change. Isn't that right? Same black people from Africa came here. Some of us went to the south, some of us went north, some of us went west, and we picked up a southern, northern, or western dialect. But we think we're different. Oh man, that brother from the south, he from Georgia. So I don't make him a black man. Our realization of who we are is really off. All right, so there's a time and a season for everything under the sun and every purpose. And this, brothers and sisters, is the mystery of what is called Shet-Taut Neter. S-H-E-T-A-U-T. S-H-E-T-A-U-T. Shet-Taut Neter. Which means the secret, the hidden, or the unknown things of Neter. In ancient Kemet, everybody was supposed to study Shet-Taut Neter. The hidden, the secret, and the unknown things of Neter, the God. How do you study those things? You went into the temple and you were taught how to observe yourself through something called Simatawi. S-E-M-A-T-A-W-I. Simatawi.
That's correct.
Which the Indian people call yoga. The Ethiopians took Simatawi to the Indus Valley. What you giving credit to the brown people for is something your people developed.
Come on, come on.
Focus on yourself. Study yourself. Study those chakras and study those meridians and find out who you are by awakening this energy in you. I told you we're ashamed of our bodies.
Yes.
Everybody else is studying your Eastern philosophies and truth while you studying this Western foolishness.
Yes, sir.
Jesus died on the cross for me. Yahshua didn't die on the cross for you. Yahshua was put to death because everybody was put to death during that time if you went against Caesar. Everybody was being crucified. There was two people in the Bible that was crucified with Yahshua, right? One on the right, one on the left. How come nobody talk about them? They were crucified. Yahshua wasn't crucified for you. He was crucified just like we're being crucified today. He was a black man during that time telling the truth. Like Malcolm was a black man in this time telling the truth.
All right.
That's right. So they killed him. Crucifixion only means really to put to death. Malcolm was put to death, and that Turner was put to death.
Yeah.
They would have killed Harriet Tubman had they got her.
Yeah. It sure was. Yeah.
So brothers and sisters, we got to understand Yahshua came as a teacher to bring us to the realization of who we are. And in the process, like all good men and women, was murdered. Was murdered. The realization is, which is why people don't want to come to it, you know if you wake up, the devil coming after you.
That's true. That's so true.
So we don't really wake up. We partially wake up. Why are all these Negroes telling Colin Kaepernick to start his own league? How come these rich Negroes ain't having to start it? Why y'all telling that brother to start his own league and you got money as well? He sacrificed and got booted out. He stood up and said, I'm not going to do this. Acknowledge this flag when y'all killing my people in the streets.
Yes.
That's right.
They refuse now to give the brother a job in his profession, and all of the other rich millionaires saying, start your own league, brother. It's just 50 of you give $1 million. That brother got $50 million to do something. That's the problem I have with my people is we don't realize how powerful we are as a collective unit.
Come on.
We just keep looking at each other as an individual. When white people look at each other as a collective unit, Chinese people, Korean people, Arabs, and everybody else, the so-called Latinos, have come over here and bypassed us. Because they realize we are one. Unity is power.
Yep,
Yes.
sure is.
So we got to come to the realization of who we truly are. Let's read something from the Bhagavad Gita. It's not the Hindu book. Just told y'all we took it to India.
Come on, brother.
This is our book. The Bhagavad Gita. Let's go to chapter 19. All right, chapter 19. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, chapter 14. Chapter 14. I know y'all don't have it, so I have to read it for you. Chapter 14, and we're going to read text 19. Chapter 14, text 19. That's what it is. All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained supreme perfection." The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Godhead means the God family, which you belong to. Again I declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained supreme perfection. When you study that, they obtain that supreme perfection by meditating on the Creator in themselves. By meditating on the Creator in themselves. If you are God and if you are a goddess, you got to meditate on the Creator in yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you start meditating on the Creator in yourself, the chakras will begin to open to connect you to the divine. And once you're connected to the divine, wisdom is poured down upon you. Because you'll start seeing the universe from the inside out.
Come on, brother.
You'll have a better understanding of the sun. Because the sun is the heart. It will show you the moon, wisdom, that's your mind. It'll show you the stars glittering throughout your body. All those 22 nerve centers or extra chakras, most of us don't know we have because we only think we got 7.
Come on, brother.
Are y'all with me? Mm-hmm. Things will start to activate in the body. It says your liver will teach you. Your spine will erect you, elevate you, awaken you. Your ears will hear for you, then recite to you.
Teach that.
We're wondering why those who isolate themselves from society are so wise. Because they go to their university. And we don't go to the university. I hear young brothers and sisters saying, I go to the university of the higher self. But I don't hear any wisdom from you. All I hear is profanity and foolishness. And you talking about what the sister looked like sexually, but you're not dropping anything divine. It's something wrong with that. So we have to study these principles in order to grow, in order for those chakras to open up, in order for us to learn. We got to be the teachers we were ordained to be. Stop letting these white folks study your history and your culture and bypass you and come into your school and teach your children
That's right.
African history. Because that's what they're doing. Are they not? They're teaching our children African history. Somebody go to Romans chapter 1 for me real quick. Chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. Real quick for me. And let's read Romans chapter 12. Let's read verse 1. Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
I beseech you, brothers and sisters, present your body a what? A living sacrifice. That's where we mess up. We don't know how to sacrifice the self. because we are ashamed of the body, scared of the body, and we fear the body. Every day you have to make your body a living sacrifice. Sacrifice means to what? Burn and put to death, or destroy and put to death, or to kill and put to death. Because when you sacrifice something, what do? You burn it. If you sacrifice an animal, you kill it and you burn it. If you sacrifice grain, you pull it from the earth, you put it on the altar, you set it on fire. So there's something about you in your body you must destroy in order to elevate yourself. So every day, in order to come to realization, something got to die so something else can live. We want to live without ever putting anything to death. I used to be an alcoholic, but I want to be a new man now. So to be a new man, I got to make a choice between the alcohol and my divine nature. So I choose what? To try to get my divinity and still get drunk. Isn't that how it works in society, brother? I say it all the time. Marijuana, cannabis is the best drug in the world. We kill a lot of stuff. Y'all know it. We all done some studying on it, right? If I got sick, somebody told me I had cancer or I had this or had that, Doc would get himself some. But I won't smoke it. Why won't you smoke it, Doc? Because I know the knowledge of it. I got to break it down to medicinal form. There is no such thing as called healthy smoke. Everything that goes in my lungs kill my cells. Although I'm getting high and the marijuana is good for me, but it has also a set hair-root nature in it. So while I think I'm getting a good portion of it, I'm actually getting a set portion of it. So while I'm smoking it, the smoke is getting in my lungs, and every time you are diluted, you kill brain cells. When you get drunk, you kill brain cells. When you're fighting, you get knocked out, you kill brain cells. That's why professional boxers are what we call punch drunk. When they start their career, they tell, yeah, man, I'm going to beat him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. End of their career, I'm going to get him, I'm going to get him in the third round. That's sluggish. Brain cells. I competed in the martial arts tournament all along the East Coast, from New York all the way down to Florida. And I did everything in my power to protect my head. I didn't like getting hit. I was like Ali, you either hit me in the face and you're not going to knock me out. And all praises to the Creator, I have never been knocked out because I knew to protect the head. Because when you fall out, why? Because oxygen does not get to the brain. And when the oxygen does not get to the brain and you lose a supply of oxygen to the brain for a few seconds stops functioning. Anytime your brain stops, you're in a deadly situation. You're really in a comatose state when you are knocked out. Your brain is not moving. Cells die in a split second because of the lack of oxygen. That's why oxygen is reminding us of spirit. It is so essential to your life that without it, your brain stops. When your brain stops, your heart. So something has to die in your sacrificial state in order for you to elevate yourself. And in order for you to elevate yourself and kill something off, you got to put yourself in a pure state of mind. Pure conscience, right? So if you're going to study this deep stuff, because we ain't touch it, and you're going to get into the unknown and you're going to get into these mysteries, don't come to Dr. Jackson and I say, well, sister, brother, you got to do such and such. And you look at me like you just freaked out. There's some stuff you don't know about your university. But you can't teach black people. We still haven't come to the realization as to why the cracker, when he lynched a black man, cut his phallus off.
Teach that, bro.
We don't come to the realization of that. But it's written in your holy book with Asa. Isn't it? Whom they call Osiris. It's written in the statues and in your holy books of men, our men. Anybody seen the statue of men army?
Yes, sir.
With the erect phallus?
Yes, sir.
Phallus? We raise the tekken, we talk about the tekken, it represents the phallus. We don't understand the understanding of that part of the member.
No.
And you can't teach on it and talk about it because we are ashamed of that part.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And you've been taught that it's the dirtiest thing on you.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the woman. You can't teach about that divine part called the womb and what the womb really represents and what it really is because it's a bad thing. And the devil taught you that from keeping you from finding your divinity. Because the first chakra starts right there in that area. So if you don't wake up those chakras, you ain't waking up nothing else. And white people come in for chakra treatments.
Yes, they do.
Right or wrong?
Yes, they do.
Black people come in, I need my chakras balanced or chakras aligned. Okay, this is what the procedures are. And as soon as you get that far into it, well, can we do something else? Your money. I'm still gonna do my job. Your money. But the service you came for, that's the same price you're gonna pay. I don't play with these Negroes. I don't cut no deals with them. Don't get on the phone and call up Dr. Jackson, Master's Touch Massage, and ask for a certain massage you saw on Facebook on our website and you didn't research it.
And it's on
Research. It's simple. That was something that was driven into me by my father. Don't you ever buy anything unless you find out about it. We used to get comic books as children. What is it about? Oh no, Dad, I haven't read it yet. Who is it? It's a hero called such and such. Who is he? I don't know. He got the such and such powers. You don't know anything about that book, boy, and you bought it? That's what he was saying. Why are you buying a book and don't know anything about it? Research. Ashe?
Ashe.
All praise be to the Most High.
All
No
praise.
praises.
Brother to be there, brothers and sisters, we thank you. We're coming to the point of realization. We are the gods and goddesses, but we must come to the point of knowing what a god and a goddess really is.
That's it. Give it up once again. To the big Dr. Jackson. It's always good.